Yield back.
Chair recognizes Mr. Frost from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All over the country, people are protesting nonviolently President Trump's treatment of immigrants, and they are right to. And I think it's important that we are clear as leaders about what's going on in this country right now. There is no mass deportation campaign. Deportation is a process that is not being followed right now. What's going on is people are being snatched up in the middle of the streets, trafficked, kidnapped in the middle of the streets, trafficked to other countries without due process. Trump is taking blatantly illegal and inhumane actions to stoke protests and then escalating things from there. Over the weekend, he sent the U.S. troops to California. This is dangerous. First, the California National Guard without the governor's support, and now the Marines. The Marines are trained to fight and win wars, not to de-escalate a protest in the heart of an American city. Members of our armed services have sworn an oath to the Constitution. They didn't swear an oath to Donald Trump, and they're not his personal army. And so in the face of a wannabe dictator, we have to have strong opposition. First, the Trump administration says they're going to arrest judges. Then they arrested a judge. Then they talk about arresting elected officials. Then a mayor gets arrested. Then they said they'd arrest a member of Congress, and one has been indicted. Democratic member of Congress has been indicted. And now we have Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, who's threatened to arrest the California governor. And I don't think we should take this as an empty threat. Why is Trump now saying he wants to arrest governors? It's because he knows that some of the people who are going to be the greatest opposition to his lawlessness are Democratic governors standing up for their people. And so I'm just curious to hear from our three governors here today, because these things can be put forth as hypotheticals, but they're not hypotheticals. Elected officials are being arrested. This is happening. The DOJ is being weaponized against us. So if federal agents were to come to your door, to the governor's mansion, approach your security staff to arrest you. You have Tom Homan on the news saying, I want to arrest Governor Hochul, Governor Pritzker, Governor Walz. What do you do? What do you say? I'm just curious. Governor Hochul, if you can start.
If Tom Homan comes to Albany to arrest me, I'll say, go for it. You can't intimidate a governor. What is this country coming to? When people can threaten us on social media and on cable news and try to stop us from doing our jobs, we're here on the front lines every day, fighting to defend our rights, our values, and the public safety of our residents. And so anything threatening our responsibility is an assault on our democracy, nothing short of that.
Thank you, Congressman. Let me begin by saying I have the highest duty to protect the people of my state. And indeed, if Tom Homan were to come to try to arrest us, I can say, first of all, that he can try. I can also tell you that I will stand in the way of Tom Homan going after people who don't deserve to be frightened in their communities, who don't deserve to be threatened, terrorized. I would rather that he came and arrested me than do that to the people of my state.
Well, thank you, Congressman. And I was just sitting here listening today again. There's many of you in here, friends on both sides of the aisle that I served here. The job of governor is very different than the job you're doing, but we need you. We need to work together. No one here wants to hear these horrific stories, but we have a job to do on limited resources. And equating that not doing ICE's job means we're not cooperating, we're patrolling our highways. I'm proud that Minnesota's a state third lowest in traffic deaths. If we start doing all the things at ICE, and nothing we do precludes them from doing their job. And so threatening and political, and I did not realize, I guess, I watch it, I didn't realize how much animosity there's here. We have a responsibility to the American public to work together, and I think threatening arrest on elected officials, Congressman, it doesn't help any of us. Governor Pritzker's right. Our citizens are scared and angry, and it's not necessary. We can fix this with a bipartisan border bill. Help us out.
Thank you, Governor. I want to end by saying former Governor and now Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem just last year said that federalizing the National Guard would be a direct attack on states' rights. And now she's cheering it on. President Trump has consolidated power so much in his own party, There's little to no, pretty much zero, opposition left to his lawlessness. We hear it in this room right now. And the last thing I want to say, too, is what's going on right now is not just a distraction from the fact that they want to pass a massive tax break for the richest Americans and take away services and things from working families, but it's to enable it. These aren't two different stories, because the only way you rip away health care from 15 million Americans in this country and not feel like you have to fear for your job or that you're going to be protested every day is by scaring the people and suppressing their First Amendment right. What's going on in Los Angeles and what this Donald Trump wants to do around the nation is directly connected to the fact that he's going to take away health care from all of these people, 15 million Americans, to benefit people like him and his donors. And it's shameful. These aren't two different things. It's the same thing. I yield back.
Chair recognizes Mr. Higgins from Louisiana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.